Good morning, students. So, today is the third lecture for the Unit 1 of Organizational Behavior. I hope so. You people are understanding the way of my teaching. I'm again and again telling you people that if you people are facing any kinds of doubt, or if your people are feeling that there is something missing in the concept which I'm explaining you people, please let me know so that I'll be improving myself. Okay, so till yesterday we have done about the introduction part of organizational behavior, where we have discussed about the definition of organizational behavior. We have discussed why there is a requirement of organizational behavior. Then we have discussed about what are the different factors affecting organizational behavior. We have discussed that is factors and elements are same. Then we have also discussed about what is the nature of organizational behavior. Then we have studied about what are the importance of organizational behavior. We have discussed about what are the limitations of organizational behavior. Then we have, I think, in the last part which we have discussed, what was about contributing disciplines to the organizational behavior. So in today's class we'll be discussing about different models of organizational behavior. So there are total 5 models which we'll be studying. So let's discuss it one by one. So first one is so the first one is autocratic style. That is, what are the autocratic style of leadership? See, we are these are the types of leadership, as well as these are the models to be treated. These can be also treated as the models of organizational behavior. So first one is autocratic. So, might is right. This is the motto of this particular model. Those who are in a command must have power to demand. This is what the statement about this particular style, or this particular model. So autocratic is where only management people are taking decisions about the whatever aspects of the organizations are there. Only the management people are taking decisions. Only the management people are have a right to decide what is wrong, what is right, and what employees or subordinates have to do is just to follow the management. It is just like theory X, which has been given by MacGregor, and where employees are only treated as a passive one, not as an active part of the organization. This can be treated as one of the feature, I can say this can be treated as one of the feature of this particular model. So where only management people are taking the decisions of the organization. And there is in this one more, I can say, the obedient orientation of the employees, where employees are following the management, but it may not sure that they are respecting the management as well. So this is what I can talk about the autocratic style of leadership, or autocratic model, where only management people have right to take the decisions of the any matters of the organization. Then I can say what can be the advantage of having this particular model. Sorry. So we can talk about what are the advantage, why there is a requirement of this particular um, model. Advantages is for a quick decision making, with so because only the management is taking the decision, so it is helpful to make any quick decision making. Okay, sir, sometimes we may not have time to think, to study about that matter. Sometimes we have to take a quick decisions, right? So this helps for making the quick decisions. Then is this concept doesn't include the views of subordinates. So it is help them to maintain some confidential matters only limited to the management people. They may not be disclosed those matters to subordinates. So this is what the advantages. Next, I'll be talking about what are the disadvantages. So when I'm saying disadvantages, so every situation has two sides. Okay, it can be a positive one and the negative one. We have discussed the positive one. Now there is a time to discuss about the disadvantages, that is the negative side of it. So sometimes what will happen in autocratic style of leadership is subordinates are forced to follow the certain directions. They are not eligible, they are not allowed to follow their mind. Employees or subordinates just have to follow what management people are telling to them. Okay, and secondly I can talk about is lack of initiation. Suppose there is any situation, employees may fear or they may have any kind of any kind of a prejudice in their mind that they can't take any decision, so they shouldn't talk anything. So it will leads to lack of initiation from the side of employee. So this is what we have discussed about autocratic style of leadership or autocratic model. I hope you people are understanding what is the exact meaning of it. Next is a democratic leadership model. In this, all the members of the groups plays a participative role in the form of decision making or in the form of sharing their views. So they have each employees having an equal right to contribute from their side in the form of decision making. So this is democratic. As I have said. So as we have discussed advantages of previous as well, so we'll discuss about this as well. So what are the advantages of democratic model? So what are the benefits? Okay, so it helps to solve the some complex problems. It may helps us to take initiations from the subordinates. It will also help for job satisfaction, we can say, and to build certain team based relationships. Also, this particular model is useful. Next is we'll be discussing about what are the demerits or disadvantages of this particular model. So when I'm saying demerits, what are the demerits of if I am giving suppose I have an organization and I am giving a chance to each and every individual to take decision, or I am taking opinions from each and every individual, then what are the disadvantages? So it may cause disharmony if it is misapplied. Sometimes people may misapply. Sometimes people, if people are getting freedom to talk, they may talk any nonsense things, they may suggest any nonsense idea. So that is what the problem. Secondly, it may take too long time for decision making. In autocratic, what was the situation? Management people used to research, they used to take the decision, and they used to just tell those decisions to the subordinates. But in democratic, what management does, they take opinions from each individuals and then they finalize the decision. So it takes too long time. Okay, so this is what about the second one. Then let's discuss about the next one, that is supportive model of this particular organizational behavior. So it focuses on motivating the employees, so that it focusing on how employees will get comfortness at the working place rather than focusing on the power of money. So when I'm saying some kind of features of it, it can be like it supports employee job performance, like it provides suitable working conditions to the employees, but they may not focus on the financial benefits. Further I can say they create a sense of participation where each and every individual who are working in a team, they are supporting each other. So this is what a supportive model features. Then as previously we'll discuss the merits of this particular model as well. So what are the merits of it? So what are the merits of this? What are the benefits for the follower? It will reduce the stress, it will increase certain level of commitments. Okay, then what are the benefits to the organization? It will increase cohesiveness, harmony. It will chances are there that the absenteeism rate will reduced, and even it increased level of cooperation. Okay, so this is what the advantages of the supportive model. Then we'll be discussing about what are the disadvantages. Okay, what are the disadvantages of this particular, disadvantages or demerits of this particular model. So, this demerits, when I'm saying demerits for this can be the people, sometimes it's not possible that each every person at the organization are support who is working in a supportive way. Sometimes there are people who are money minded, so they may not be agree with this kind of a method. So that is what can I can say the demerit of this particular model. Next, we'll be discussing about what is custodian model. Okay, so custodian model is something which is reducing the drawbacks of the autocratic model. So custodian model in this what had happened in autocratic model was it creates a feeling of insecurity and frustration. So what does custodian model do is it avoids this level of insecurity and frustration from the employees. So they are helping the employees to reduce the insecurity and frustration at the workplace. So what are the features? What are the features of this particular model? What are the features? So features are employees are depending on the organization. Like in spite of depending on management people, they are depending on organization for the purpose of getting security and welfare. Secondly, it emphasizes on rewards. So, rewards can be in the form of security, it can be in the form of maintenance factors, etc. And lastly, I can talk about this as a feature is promotes the employee satisfaction, as they are focusing on reduction in the level of depression, stress level, frustration. So automatically, if people are happy at the workplace, they will work more with a more dedication. So this is what the custodian model talks about. Then next one is we having as a collegial model. So this model I can say as an extension of supportive model. It includes the principle of mutual contribution from employer as well as from employee. Okay, so what are the features of this particular model? What are the features of this? When I'm saying features of this, it may includes creation of a favorable working climate at the workplace. It also gives some encouragement for the teamwork. So this is what the collegial model, where it focuses on contribution, that is mutual contribution from the side of employer as well as from the side of employee. Okay, so next these are the five models we have discussed. Okay, next we'll be discussing about what are the challenges faced by organizational behavior. Let's discuss one by one. Okay, so the first one is workforce diversity. So nowadays in an organization there are many people who are working. It can be combination of women, physically disabled person. It can be retired defense personnel. It can be we can see all kinds of people working at the organization. But previously the situation was not seen. The women used to not get a chance to work, right? They used to just treat it as they have to just handle, they have to just take care of the family, that's it. There was no permission to them to work outside. So but now the situation is not the same. Women or everybody are working, women or the disabled person, all are working at the organization. So there is a workforce diversity. So there is we can't we can't use a specific method to understand each and every individual. So it can mentality of these all people are different, so it maybe organization face the challenges to understand these all people in a different manner, so that sometimes it may create certain level of confusions to whether we are right to understand that person or no. So this is what the first one I can say. Then we'll be discussing about the second one as changed employee expectations. So previously employees were used to expect just job security or certain attractive remuneration or housing. They used to get happy with this much. But nowadays they are even demanding empowerment and the quality of status with the management. So these expectations are increasing day by day, so it may leads as a challenge in front of organizational behavior to meet the expectation of each and every individual, right? So this is what the second one. Next we'll be discussing third one as globalization. Nowadays, we can see there is a ease of doing business throughout the world. So, we can see we are oftenly watching the international trades, right? So, we are hearing this from news. So, India is also part of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, and so that India have removed many trade barriers so that they can promote the international trade. But the problem in the form of globalization is global managers should understand the local culture as well, so that they'll be able to manage the workers at the workplace in a very effective way, right? So even he or she, that is global manager, is working in a home country, he should and must understand or adopt the different cultures where they are locating their subsidiaries, their other corporations in other countries. So this is what the globalization issue I can say, where there is an issue of understanding the different cultures of different country. Next, we'll be discussing about fourth one as increasing the quality consciousness. So the one word is missing, that is consciousness. Okay, so quality consciousness is like nowadays people are more oftenly focusing on quality of goods and services rather than competitive cost. More focuses nowadays are given on a kaizen concept, that is improvement on improvement. They are focusing on Six Sigma factors, they are focusing on quality certifications. So rather than focusing on a cost factor, they are more focusing on quality aspects. So that is a different challenge in front of organizational behavior to maintain the level of quality and to maintain the consistency. Next is we'll be discussing about CSR, that is corporate social responsibilities. So these are the organization's obligations, I can say, so that they can able to protect the interest of the stakeholders. We can say owners, employees, customers. We can say suppliers, government, and most important is society. Every organization should do something for the society, their contribution is required. So there is, I think, compulsion on this particular CSR activity, right? 2 to 3% they have to contribute for this. So next so in that, this is a good way actually to maintain a good relationship or a good rapport with the society. But we are oftenly hearing about the scams, scandals, frauds. So this is something which is disturbing in the form disturbing. This CSR activity is good, but these scams are disturbing the system, I can say. So I can give example of behalf order scams, Bombay stock scams. So these scams are disturbing the whole system, right? So next one is accepting change. Okay, so next one is accepting change. So I think previously I have yesterday's class I have talked about this, I think. Accepting is change in the sense change is something which is constant. It is the only thing which is a constant, because we'll be upgrading the technologies, we'll be upgrading the different methods of doing the particular things. So there can be some people at the organization who are resistance, who are in a favor of resistance of change. So they may not be able to understand it quickly, right? So that is the biggest issue in front of organizational behavior. So we people have discussed so far many important aspects, such first of all, I'll start with 2 mark, that is section A, from section A, that is 2 marks questions. This is a very important question for 2 marks, that is definition of organizational behavior, or right meaning of organizational behavior. I'll be starting from 2 marks question, right? Then is I have also discussed about what are the different disciplines of organizational behavior. So that particular question will be there for 2 marks. This was the question for 2 marks in 2018 question paper. Next, in 2019, there was again question of asking about what is OB for 2 marks, and what are the two models of OB. The models of OB we have discussed in today's class. These are the two more. You can write about you can take any two models and you can describe about that. Next, in 2020 question paper, we in part A, there was again question of what is organizational behavior. There was a question of asking organizational behavior and what is custodian model of organizational behavior. So in 2020 there was a question of what is OB and what is custodian model. So this is what about we have discussed about 2 marks questions from 3 question paper. Then we'll be discussing about the section B, where I think in 2018 there was a question of what are the factors influencing organizational behavior. So I think here we have discussed what are the factors which are influencing the organizational behavior. Wait, I'll tell you, where is that? So these are the factors which are influencing the organizational behavior. This can become for, I think it is for 5 marks. Write any 5. So it will be, this question will be for 8 marks. Sorry, it is not for 5, it is for 8 marks. Next, in 2019 question paper, 5 marks, so you had a question of answer any two models of OB, which the question which we have discussed today. Okay, we have discussed about different models, so you people can write any two models from this question was there for 8 marks. This question was for 8 marks. Okay, for 8 marks this question will be there. And then I can see in a 2020 question paper, what are the disciplines contributing to the OB and what are the elements of organizational behavior. So in this, wait, I'll write here, I have a place. So for 8 marks I have again question of disciplines. Okay, there was a question of disciplines, and there was a question of elements. So with this all things we have discussed in previous class, so I hope you people remember about this. Then lastly we'll be discussing about the section C questions. I'll try it out, just a minute. Section C, for there was no question related to this. Then in 2019 you had a question that what are the challenges of organizational behavior. So this question we have discussed today. This is what the question: challenges of organizational behavior in the year 2019. You had this question for 10 marks. So this is a very important question for 10 marks. So you just add as much as points so that you'll be briefing your answer in a detailed way. Next, in 2020 you had a question of what are the, again you have this repeated question, same one, what are the challenges of organizational behavior for 10 marks. So this is what we have discussed today so far. Please, this is again a kind request for you people. If you people are facing any kinds of doubts, or you people are free to ask me that madam, I'm not understanding this, or madam, I'm not understanding this concept. Please do ask the doubt, so that make sure you are clearing your concepts. Again and again I am telling, this is the most important, because you have to write the exams, right? So just make sure you are understanding these concepts, and ask, as I have said, you can ask doubts anytime. So this is the end of first module. So we have discussed almost all the aspects of unit 1, and we have also discussed some important questions from previous last 3 years question paper. Important questions we have discussed. Okay, so I have completed the unit, so I'll be giving notes for the unit 1. Go through with those notes, and make sure you are referring the recommended books as well, so that you'll be getting a detailed knowledge about this particular subject. Thank you.